Hey everyone, Mango7Roll here, how we doing today? Welcome to another Epic 7 video. So I looked at all the requests of videos to do, and this was the number one, and we're just going to talk about 3-star units, specifically which one I think basically every single player should be making. Some of these are better than 5 stars, better than 4 stars, better than light and dark 5 stars. They're some of the best units in the game, and you really should have these on your arsenal, at least at 4-star max, but probably 5-star max every single one of these. So the first one we're going to talk about is Tieria, and Tieria is one of the best units in the game. I think she's just absolutely phenomenal. If you watched my video on combat readiness, she is just so good at that sort of thing, and she's just fantastic. So the best part about her too is she has a memory imprint of speed. So I think at max memory imprint she gets 8 speed to the whole team, which is just absolutely insane. She's also 3-star, of course, so that is going to be easier to get than usual, unless you're me and you just can't summon more than one. Her third skill is a defense decrease, and defense decrease is something that's just insane, especially on somebody that can buff combat readiness as well. Just so unbelievably good. Her burn also grants her an extra turn, so you can get double combat readiness increase. Really a huge fan of her. Her second skill is the increased combat readiness of allies. And this one here is decreased hit chance on her first skill. So anytime she ever attacks, she gets the second skill procced, and it's just absolutely fantastic. So imagine burning your third skill, get an attack, giving your entire team 10% or 15%, I think. Yeah, 10% or 15% combat readiness and doing it again right after. It's so unbelievably good. As for how to build her, basically just like this, just not terrible equipment. I don't use her too much because I like my waifus better, you know, like I like my Araminta, but she's not as good, to be honest. The important part on her is just speed, 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 speed. You want all the speed you can get on her. That's all that really matters. We can see her skills don't really scale on anything, so the speed is what's important. So you absolutely 100% must have a speed set on her, and the rest doesn't matter. Effectiveness is really great to land that defense down. HP is great, crit is great, hit is great. Defense is great, anything else for the last two. But in all honesty, I would just get the speed set and try to min-max the rest to get more speed out of it. Like if you get 10 speed out of a broken set as opposed to 5 speed out of a health set, I would way rather go with the 10 speed there. So that's overall Tieria here. I'm honestly not sure on her artifacts. I don't have the best artifact usage, but anything that helps her get more turns or anything like that is going to be fan-freaking-tastic. So next up here is another one of those free 4 stars that are just absolutely insane, and that is Elson. Good old dude who doesn't like to get lost. And honestly, you build him basically the exact same way as Tieria. You want to build him as fast as humanly possible with a little bit of HP or defense on his 2 set if you can do it. The reason why this dude is so good is because he has a huge buff. It's a 3-turn buff with attack and defense, and that is just so insane. They've stated they're going to nerf defense in the future, but I wouldn't worry about that. He's still going to be insane with this. Just getting this up for all sorts of PvE content is unbelievably good and will help you out. If you're struggling with a map in PvE and you don't have Elson on your team, you really just need to go get him up and you will find yourself way better. So his third skill is obviously the buff here, and you can do 3 turns with a burn. His second skill is just an AoE damage deal that also heals HP. And the first one is a decreased attack, which is not to be scoffed at. Like, that's actually pretty solid, especially for PvE. If you can drop that on an enemy says, or you can drop that on the golem boss or something like that, that really helps survivability. So again, all you want is speed on him. That's the most important thing, speed and survivability. That is all that matters, and you should have him at least 4-star max, probably 5-star max. And honestly, getting him and Tieria together on the same team is just insane and will carry you through basically all of the contents. A lot of people ask me if he's a good enough healer by himself, and I really think no. He's meant to pair up with somebody else, so either a really big healer and Elson, or 2 mid-sized healers. I personally run Destina with Elson, and it's not overhealing at all. It's super awesome, and honestly, if Elson did nothing but this buff, he would still be amazing. So next up is an attacker for once, and that is Lorina, and everybody gets Lorina for free, and she has a specialization at 5-star max you can unlock. It does take a lot of time to do, so be wary of that, but it's absolutely worth it. this is how I have mine built right now. And honestly, I think this is a pretty good set for her. And this is the Abyss set. The Abyss has some of the best gear in the game. If you don't have Ravi, you might want to put a set like this onto your Lorina. You just want as much attack and crit as humanly possible on her. That's all you really want. And again, speed is always good, and HP and everything like that is always good as well. I went with the lifesteal build, hoping she farmed for me pretty well. She doesn't hit as hard as I would like her to hit right now, but she will when I fix her gear. You obviously want attack percent on her boots if you can, and if you can't get that, get speed. And attack percent everywhere is your main priority, with as much crit as possible. And that's something I forgot to mention. You absolutely 100% need speed on your boots. So if you're using Tieria or Elson, this needs to be speed on your boots. It's your biggest source of speed outside the speed set. It has to be on the main set, and you need a ton of it. It is super duper worth it. So if you don't have a speed set with speed boots on it, so if you don't have, I forget what the speed set is called. It's just called speed, nice. On your boots, and you don't have one of those with speed on it, just use a broken set or whatever set works for your boots with speed and match that up, because that's a huge source of their speed. I just gotta keep reminding people of that, because percent stats on your right side are so good. And as you can see, I obviously have no good stats there, but it doesn't matter because those are just used for my speed set currently. So back to Lorina here. That's not Lorina. Back to Lorina here. She's got just huge damage here, and this gives you a second turn if you burn it, so you can get another huge damage hit afterwards. She's got this, which stacks up to 5 times, which gives her 50% attack 5 times, which is really good, especially for labyrinths and the farming that takes longer than usual. And her first skill is just a big damage deal with combat readiness. So she's just a really big bruiser that's just going to do a ton of damage. If you use her in PvP, she actually just one-shots a lot of things, which is just insane. The final one I think we're going to take a look at right now, and there are a ton more than this, by the way. There are so many good 3 stars that I just can't cover them all. I just wanted to cover the ones that were just fantastic right out the gate that I can't imagine an account would go without them. I don't care how many nat 5s you have, how many light and dark units you have, you should probably be building most of these units. And Curious here is the final one we're going to look at. I'm sorry I'm not doing the best at artifact recommendations, but you just kind of need to look at what you have and go from there. I have this increased dual attack chance just because you can proc her poison off of dual attack, and I think that's worth it. I'm not sure. As for her set, she's just like everybody else. All these units are just such fantastic units. She's going to do infinity damage. She's going to carry all your PvE content, but she's not going to do it based off her attack. She's going to do it based off this combo here. And this combo allows you to inflict 3 stacks of poison with your first turn, or first skill. So it's just insane. So you start off the battle, you use preparation, then you attack with this, and you can drop 3 poisons on the enemy. And then you use this to make them last longer. So good, so unbelievably good. And you can also do -1 turn cooldown and just 2 skill points, which is absolutely worth it. As for how you want to build her, speed, nothing but speed. You just want her to go as fast as possible. And outside of that, you want to hit set on her to try to get 20% extra effectiveness. Effectiveness is huge. Mine is really low effectiveness, so I don't land as many dots as I want. You don't care about her attack at all. You don't care about her crit. You don't care about her crit damage. You just care about speed, effectiveness, and any sort of survivability you need to not die. That is really all that matters on her. So Curious is just insane. I just pulled her a couple days ago. She does so much damage to bosses, it's absolutely unreal. As for other 3 stars, just to take a look here, it's so hard to see. I'm going to give a special shout out to Carmainerose. She's also fantastic, but I feel like she needs a higher equipment like cap to really take advantage of. So I haven't really loved her. I did try to get her useful, but I didn't have the biggest luck with her, and I don't think every account should build her. But if you do want to build her, you don't have any really good fire damage dealer, she's insane. Just build her attack crit. You can build her like a bruiser style with lifesteal as well. She'll work great with that Abyss set. Everything about her is fantastic. I also picked up Jecht. I have a 4-star one way up there somewhere that I use for my golem team just as a little bit of survivability, because he does have an AoE healing. And he also has an AoE speed buff too, which is just pretty solid. Really happy with him. And honestly, outside of that, those are the main ones you want to consider. There's a bunch more that are fantastic, but really, those are the ones you need to not miss. Anyways, feel free to like, comment, subscribe. As always, let me know in the comments below what you think about these characters, how you've been liking them, and any other videos you'd like to see on Epic 7. Have a wonderful day. See you guys later. Bye!